Hi there, welcome to Otaku Gamers UK, our little part of the internet. It's a little side project we're working on where we're going to take the podcast approach and just discuss what's going on in gaming today, stuff that we think readers might be interested in, and hopefully you enjoy it and we can bring more of these. Joining me today is the head of the website, overall master and overlord, Jeff.
All right, guys.
And our low-level entry peon Prinny dude, Ben.
Yo.
As you can see, he's so... No, Prinny's know their place. So, jumping straight into it, Ben, you recently reviewed for us Yooka-Laylee.
Yes.
And I remember giving you the code at the time, and I never actually checked because I'm of that old school where I always assumed everyone had played like 90s platformers, so I did brick it a little bit when you actually hadn't played stuff like Banjo-Kazooie, Croc,
Nope, never touched it.
Stuff like that. But looking at your review, just going over it quickly, it's really positive, especially compared to other reviews on the internet, and I'm not going to mention any names right, but there are some really negative ones out there. And you awarded the game 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Which I remember when I went over the review at first, I was a bit like, not quite sure.
A bit skeptical of it.
Yeah, but I've actually repurchased the game myself and I'm playing it, and I would personally rate it that high myself. But I think my score probably comes from the nostalgia side of it, because for me it's basically Banjo-Kazooie 3.
Yeah.
Whereas, well, you want to go over why you enjoyed the game a little bit?
I don't know. It just felt like a fresh game. Like, obviously, I'd never played any platformers like that before, so I hadn't really had much experience with what the game should be like. But I just went into it with like an open mind. I just really enjoyed it. I thought the characters were incredible and loving. I didn't like the voices too much, but
no, the voices are a bit off.
Yeah, but I just think the gameplay and the overall exploration, the mechanics of it was just really well done for like my first ever true platformer.
And that's the thing, they don't make them that much anymore, do they? Everything's a first-person shooter, or RPG seems to be the craze at the minute.
Yeah, or open world, that's pretty big, isn't it, as well?
I am very surprised there aren't towers you have to climb and it opens up the rest of the map. And I mean, it's got a Ubisoft level amount of collectibles, but that's like a staple of that kind of game.
Yeah, I mean,
go on.
I enjoyed all the amount of collectibles in it, like collecting all the little ghosts and stuff and all the play coins. I think that was quite enjoyable, exploring the different environments and stuff.
That's what I think the main hook of the game is, and what people who kickstarted it were probably after. And I think they got it, to be honest, where it was an old school exploration game where you're just thrown into a level. Doesn't hold your hand. It just gives you this open level. You go and you just find stuff the more you play it. And as you know, there's that gimmick with the pages where when you collect so many, you can actually make the level bigger.
Yeah.
And it just amazed me that when the actual reviews for Yooka-Laylee come out, that a lot of people were basically knocking it for being too much of a 90s platformer. And you just got to ask, when you kickstart a 90s platformer, given when the pitch is, it's going to be exactly like a Nintendo 64 collectathon platformer game, what were people actually expecting?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And like you say, it's for the current game library, it's quite fresh. I mean, for every like Call of Duty and Final Fantasy, Persona, I think the only real platformers out at the minute on the PlayStation 4, off the top of my head, are Knack and Ratchet and Clank.
There's Crash Bandicoot coming out soon.
Yeah, that should be good. Hopefully. Yeah. Let's see how Activision handle that.
But yeah, there definitely is a lack of them sort of genres, isn't there, on next-gen consoles?
It's gone quite stagnant. What do you think about it, Jeff?
What about the situation of platformers?
Yeah, just in general. I mean, I know you tend to play a lot more of the Moe kind of game.
Yeah, I do enjoy a bit of Ratchet and Clank though. I mean,
Yeah,
the previous one, even though it was basically just a remaster of the original, it was quite good. I
yeah,
enjoy Ratchet and Clank, even though it's more of like an action platformer than a straight-on platformer.
yeah.
But it does the platforming part of it really well, so you can't really complain, to be honest.
No,
And Knack was just well, I sort of enjoyed Knack, to be honest.
I enjoyed Dak. I don't know what a lot of people were expecting from it, but I remember I picked it up quite cheap, and I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean it does batter you quite
Yeah.
regularly, but yeah, it does its job.
Talking of that, I played a little known title the other year on the Wii U, and I'm currently playing it again on the PS4. I don't know if either of you have actually played it or got around to it yet, but Shovel Knight, I know no one ever talks about Shovel Knight. It's such a quiet game, no?
Yeah, I'm currently playing that on the Switch.
It's so good, isn't it, Ben?
It is amazing.
And I think with Shovel Knight it was more in early 90s, like late 80s, early 90s. It's like got like the DuckTales aspect to it, Mega Man. It was like a brilliant combination of all these old classic games people remember, but they managed to do it in a way that it's still held up well today. Like it controlled so smooth, the music is amazing, and the animation on it brilliant.
It still feels like a brand new game, even though it's reminiscent of the old games.
Yeah, it's like an indie game, but it's got like that. The kind of I call it as like the way forward sheen. I don't know if you've ever played a way forward game, but they tend to make the best platformers. They did like the DuckTales remaster, Shanty games.
Oh yeah,
they're just really good at what they're doing. And Yak Game Club, who made Shovel Knight, just seemed to have everything right with that game, and especially with the free campaigns that come out for it, like the Plague Knight, Spectre Knight, and I think Night Knight. Is it Night Knight? I don't know. King Knight, that's him. I'm only on PS4, so I've not got the extra ones yet. The Titanus. On that subject, there seems to be a lot of like 90s like platformer, just 90s style games. If you catch me drift, like you've obviously got Shovel Knight, you've got is it Bloodstained coming out by the director the good Castlevania games. Azure Gunvolt on the 3DS from the other year, which I'll talk about in a bit. I'm gonna go on to that for my main subject, but I actually downloaded an RPG today, which is very 90s, and it's like someone made my dream RPG. It's Cosmic Space Heroine.
I've not heard of that one.
It's by the guys who made Cthulhu Saves the World and Breath of Death 7.
No, I'm still lost.
Well, basically, it's the best way I could describe it is it's Phantasy Star 4 mixed with Chrono Trigger.
I know Phantasy Star.
So you should. I want to assume you do, Ben, but I do worry
definitely. Definitely no Phantasy Star.
Phantasy Star or Phantasy Star Online?
Fantasy Star. Definitely Fantasy Star.
Ben knows. Ben's good. But yeah, it just dropped on the PlayStation Store today, I think it was, for Europe. But it's just this brilliant 16-bit RPG with some amazing graphics and some brilliant music, and it is just the spirit of Phantasy Star 4 and Chrono Trigger mashed together in this like just very Mega Drive SNES era RPG. And I think games like that are quite good. I think what it is a lot of the people getting into the like making the games now, the game industry, are our generation who grew up on stuff like Final Fantasy VI, Phantasy Star 4, DuckTales, and that's why we're seeing a lot of like this 90s resurgence, and it also helps that the gameplay is timeless. I mean, in 20 years now, people are still going to hail like Final Fantasy 6, 7.
Oh, definitely.
as greats. Where I loved Final Fantasy 15. Did you get around to playing it, Ben?
Yeah, I love that game. It's good. I'm about
Have
40 hours in or something now.
It's good. Have you played it yet, Jeff?
No, I'm like 5 months behind everyone else when it comes to games.
Well, I can sort you that one out. But I don't think Final Fantasy 15 is going to be hailed in the same regard as obviously Final Fantasy 7, 6, them classic games. I mean, as good as the game it was, the storytelling all over the place, utter mess. And it's got that whole open world, and for me, as good as it was, it just didn't seem as special.
Yeah, it's not
as the classic ones. It's kind of phoned in.
It feels like them original Final Fantasies will they put RPGs on the map almost for a lot of people, didn't they?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, apart from Persona at the moment, there isn't really any big traditional JRPGs anymore. They've all gone the more Western route.
Yeah,
which isn't a bad thing. I mean, we've had brilliant games like The Witcher. My God, The Witcher 3. Really good game. I mean, I'm not massive on Western RPGs, but that was the brilliant game. But
it definitely was good.
I just think with today's current technology and the amount they put into it, that a lot of the games don't have like the magic and the imagination of the old ones. Like, one of the only recent ones I can think of is Nier Automata, where it was just so bizarre. It was like it was completely different to the original Nier, which if you played it's such a strange game, and it wasn't a great game by any stretch, but it managed to capture that kind of magic from the mid-90s RPGs where you kind of got sucked into this world. You didn't know what was going on, but you just went with it anyway because you wanted the adventure. And Nier Automata, it's like a totally different animal, but at the same time, it still had that kind of magic.
Yeah. So it felt like quite fresh, did it?
Yeah, it really unique, and it switched from third person hack and slash to a bullet hell to a dual stick shooter, and just the way the story was told, and really brilliant game. It's got massive critical acclaim, but even then I'd say it's quite underrated. It just come out at a really awkward time for it because it was like on the back of Horizon and just before Persona 5, which I'm currently playing at the moment. It's really good. I'm happy to say it's much better than 4.
Yeah, I'm playing through 4 Golden at the moment, trying to finish that one off.
4 Golden, yeah. I mean, I finished Persona 4 when it dropped on the PS2, and even then I didn't think it was that great, and I've no idea why it got milked. I thought Persona 3 was a much better game in general. Yeah,
I did enjoy 3 as well.
I am playing through Persona 3 Fez again at the minute. So I've not done the answer. So
the answer is horrid.
Oh, right. Well, nice one. Yeah. 15 hours wasted on Persona 3.
I'm only allowed to say this because I've been through it.
Well, I'll find out. So, I mean, it's like the 4th time now that I've played through Persona 3, but
yeah.
I was considering playing Persona 4 after it as well, but it's just, I don't know. I mean, I just can't bring myself to play that one anymore.
It's just, for me, it was where Atlas started to kind of lose the way a bit. I mean, you've got Tedder, and as good as comedy relief he is, this whole talking mascot thing has to stop. I mean, we've had Tedder, we
Monokuma.
That's Danganronpa. That isn't Atlas though, so.
Oh, isn't it? Nah,
stand in the corner, Printer.
You'd think it was though. I'll give it that. You'd think it was.
Yeah. So you've got Tedder, Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse had I can't remember, Navarre, who was a character from the original Shin Megami 4. He come back as a green ghost and was the comedy relief in that. And now in Persona 5 you've got like a talking cat. It's It doesn't detract from the game as much. I just think it's this really daft kind of cliche they've got going now, where they have to have some kind of daft talking mascot. And after I recently, in the build up to Persona 5, like you've been playing Persona 3 Fez, I decided to go back to Persona 2 Innocent Sin, which is my favourite of the series.
Yeah.
And that for me that's the pinnacle, because it still had like the whole Persona high school like rumor teenage drama to it, but it didn't have that annoying life sim aspect, and it wasn't like Scooby-Doo and the Gang Solve a Mystery.
Yeah,
it still had that it still kind of kept the level of dark that I associate with Shin Megami. Like, I know you've been playing Lucifer's Call as well.
Yeah, I mean, Lucifer's Call is just... I mean, on Twitter the other day, someone was tweeting out about Digital Devil Saga being the best like SMT series on PS2, and it's just...
No.
Lucifer's Call is just on a whole other level to Digital Devil Saga. It's just...
Lucifer's Call is like a top 10 RPG. It's just a tremendous game.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably the best SMT that I've played. I mean, I've not played them all, but I can't really see it being better at the minute, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, as you know, I've played... I'm not going to say them all, because there are a few I haven't got around to playing yet, or they haven't been translated. But out of the ones I've played, it's top tier. I mean, close to it was Soul Hackers. Soul Hackers, I'd say, was one of the only ones that come close to it. Shin Megami... Yeah. Shin Megami... Yeah. And then you had Shin Megami 4, which was... It was good, but it was really missing something. And Apocalypse, I'd say, is the most recent Shin Megami that comes close to Lucifer's Call. But Digital Devil Saga didn't do it any favours with it not only being split into 2 games, but the fact that the first game had an amazing storyline, but tied into the second one, which story wasn't as good, but the gameplay was much better than one. It was really fragmented.
Yeah, that seems a bit strange. I mean, I did
and then you had
Digital Devil Saga when
I
played it, but it's just...
brilliant game, but as you say, not I always call it Nocturne because I'm weeb like that. But Lucifer's Call, as I say, it's like a top 10 RPG. I put that on my list up there with Chrono Trigger, Skies of Arcadia, Grandia.
There's another one as well, actually.
PS2.
Yeah, you saw like a detective or something.
Yeah, Devil Summoner Rado Kuzunoa versus the Soulless Army. Yeah, that's good, but once again, it's one of there where the story on that one's really good.
Yeah.
But the second one come out and its story wasn't as good, but the gameplay on it's so much better, and that's Rado Kuzunoa versus King Abaddon.
Right.
I mean, that never come out over in Europe. That was just a US one, but I actually got off the US PSN, and it's a fantastic game.
I'll probably have to try that one. Well, I have to get through the first one. I mean, there's so many SMT games at the minute that I'm trying to cram into the few meager hours after work, and it's just one at a time.
I'm currently playing a Game Boy Advance one called Demi Kids, which actually had the Pokemon aspects where there was a light version and a dark version.
Yeah.
Which is alright, it's passable, but I'll play it because it's SMT, because I'm that kind of fanboy. What about you, Ben?
I've played SMT Apocalypse on the 3DS. Persona 4 Golden, Persona 3 Fez on the PSP, and there's 2 PS2 remasters on the PS3 which I've got as well, but I haven't got around to playing them yet. But they look quite interesting.
If one of them's Lucifer's Call, I would suggest getting on that very quickly.
Yeah, I think they're it's like a series of games. Like there's the first one and there's the second one.
That'll be Digital Devil Saga. That then.
That's it.
Let's say cracking games. Actually, I'd say play them before you play Lucifer's Call, because despite Lucifer's Call actually coming before them, it is a much superior game. But that's like saying that gold is slightly dirtier than the other gold, because they are fantastic.
Mm.
But going back onto our original subject, and I know Jeff has been eagerly anticipating this bit.
Yeah.
Who here had the misfortune of waiting for Mega Man Legends 3 on the 3DS?
Nope.
No, just me. So no one here else got suckered into that other 90s revival that I've dodged talking about, known as Mighty Number 9.
Oh God, I've heard bad things about that.
Oh well, as Jeff knows, I'm a massive Mega Man fan. Playing them for years, and Mighty Number 9 for me was supposed to be like the second coming of Christ. It was. I remember the original concept art, and it was this nice cell shaded platformer. It was like, I even actually backed it, and I never backed Kickstarters, but that was one I backed. And then more come out about the game, and it didn't look cell shaded, which I was all right with. I understand like things happen in development, and then it just kept getting delayed, and they kept asking for more money, and then warning signs obviously start going off a bit. And then the 3DS actually got Azure Gunvolt released on it, which is, I believe Keiji Inafune may have had something little to do with it, but it was very much a Mega Man Zero spiritual sequel. And that was fantastic, so I was like all ready for that. And it come with a bonus game called Mighty Gunvolt, which was basically the Mega Man 1 to 6 engine, but with Gunvolt. So cracking start for me. Only had about 4 levels, but brilliant little taster. So
yeah,
I was ready for it. And then the game come out, and now I can't actually talk about Keiji Inafune in public because of that monstrosity that he put on disc.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's how a lot of people feel about Yooka-Laylee, but Mighty Number 9 was aptly named because it rhymes with Shitey Number 9, and it was utter horse crap. I mean, it was so slow. They had this boost mechanic, and it was all over the place. The level design was shocking. I mean, this is the guy who created some of the greatest platformers on the NES. And it was
a bit of a letdown, really.
Letdown doesn't even come to describe it. I mean, I've sadly finished it on the PC, and I was halfway through the PS4 version trying to convince myself at some point there was going to be a good game underneath it, and it really wasn't. And I think that is one of the major worries about all these 90s games coming out. The fact that it can actually damage games from your past. Like, I still really enjoy Mega Man, but I used to be one of them where there's few developers I'd just buy anything off, like Capcom, until they went really crap. Looking at you, Street Fighter 5. And then obviously directors, as Jeff knows, if you put Suda51 on anything, I'll buy it. Like, you could even put like Suda51's Mighty Number 9, and I'd buy it and tell you it's like 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And Keiji Inafune was one of them. And I now cannot even stand to see his name on anything. I mean, Recore on the Xbox One to me looked really good until I found out he was attached to it, and now I refuse to flat out play that game.
You just don't want to let yourself down anymore, do you?
No, he hurt me.
Quit your deep.
It did. Some wounds just don't heal, and Cage's wound I don't think it's ever going to heal, especially for the fact that even before Mighty Number 9 come out, he was already kickstarting a sequel and an anime series. And
really?
And then he come out with this brilliant comment when it come out, like Deep Silver had thrown it out with this really bad ad campaign where it's like, there's so much content in this game it'll make you cry like an anime on an otaku on prom night.
I remember that.
And it had these explosions which looked like someone had just thrown pepperami at the screen. It was horrible. And then they come out and they were like, so the game's out. I mean, the Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter was giving it grief, which was hysterical. And his actual quote, when people said, like, what happened with the game? And he said, oh, well, we had to develop it on all these platforms. Still waiting on the 3DS and Vita version, by the way. And then he finally turned around, so what do you have to say about it? And his words were, well, at least it come out.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
He did not give a shit that he had just ruined this, like, perfect Mega Man spiritual sequel, because Capcom ain't going to give us that. Capcom don't care.
No.
They'll rehash Mega Man collections every now and again just for a quick, but they won't give us a proper new Mega Man. Keiji was supposed to step up. He created Mega Man, or at least I know he had a big part of it. He should have done better. He didn't do better. He didn't own up to it, and the fact that he still attaches his name to stuff it's appalling.
Mm.
Well, at least you can play Hyperdimension Neptune and launch his face at people.
True, there is that. I don't even understand why he's in that. I mean, I know it's. No, I honestly can't, like, understand, because he's not even, like, part of Mega Drive's legacy. They only got, like, one Mega Man game.
Yeah.
I don't think
special attacks for, like, Neptune, and it's just like, well...
Why is your face? And he must have just shielded his face out so he could afford to, like, put an extra screenshot on the back of Mighty Number 9 in the hopes that it convinces some poor kid to buy it.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to look at that. Yeah, think like, oh, this is the new Transformers game. Yeah, kid, buy it. Trust me, you'll love it. It's great. You can dash, you can shoot bullets, you can fight boring enemies in the levels. Yeah.
Really selling it.
Oh, it is. Honestly, I wish I still had my physical copy so I could just send it back to him. And with just a little note inside saying, you should have done better. Yeah. Just a picture of Mega Man crying, like, look what you have done. It amazes me that Yooka-Laylee's had a very similar reception. I mean, my partner, she's playing it at the moment. She loves it. She doesn't quite understand it, but she's loving it. But I can imagine if I put Mighty Number 9 on, they'd probably be maritals.
Divorce proceedings in the morning.
Oh, I mean, like, you've got classic games like Shovel Knight coming out, which obviously they aren't like cutting edge graphics, but the gameplay is so spot on. And like Mighty Number 9 didn't have cutting edge graphics, and its gameplay was crap. It's like, what were you doing?
It kind of makes you wonder what all them delays were for.
Keiji Inafune doing like mocap to put himself in more Neptune games. It really worries me about other games like Shenmue 3 as well.
I know I've not really seen much of that.
Not seen much about it, and it's Yu Suzuki's own team. And the fact that to make it open world was a Kickstarter goal. Like Shenmue 1 and 2 were open. Why wouldn't 3 be open from the start? Why should I have to pay more money to get an open game?
Yeah, it sounds a bit odd. I mean, I'm guessing that it could end up going the same way as Mighty Number 9. Where it's just delays and more money. Because apparently the original needed really big budgets.
It did, because it used a lot of they used like new engines and historical data and stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, they were quite big games. To be honest, it's just that's the only worry I guess with Shenmue 3. Is it just end up in development hell and just get picked up by Gearbox in like 5 years' time and just come out utter tripe.
True. But I think we should leave it there before I end up having like a rage-induced
rant.
Yeah, before I start fighting things. Because of Shitey Number 9.
Shitey Number 9, that's good.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's like the double-edged knife of this 90s revival. We get the good ones, like I'd say Shovel Knight, Yooka-Laylee, and Cosmic Star Heroine, and then we have the bad side, which is Mighty Number 9 all the way across. Like just as cheap cash into, because they know I'll buy shit with like 90s platformer mascots on it. Like, give me Cool Spot or Toe Jam and Earl, I'll buy it any day. I believe you've got a giveaway planned on a Steam key, Jeff.
Yeah, it's will be the Steam key giveaway that I was doing before. That kind of just stopped out of the blue. Yeah, I'm just gonna start that up again. So.
Have you got any code planned for the first giveaway?
Well, for next week, that's when it's going to start again. It's going to start next week on Wednesday, as it did before. And the first key is going to be One Piece Pirate Warriors free.
Fantastic game, actually.
I've got it myself at the minute. It's quite good. I mean, it's got controller support, so you can play it just like on a console, and it's One Piece.
Get intensifying your Usopp as you would.
Yeah, that's it. Getting my Usopp on.
Gotta be done. So... There
was one other thing as well.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was going to do a video for Bayonetta on PC, but it keeps crashing at the end of the prologue. It keeps giving me like a white screen.
Oh.
So I don't think I'm going to be doing that. I was going to do it for like early next week, but
that's a shame.
I'll try and record it again. But if it keeps doing it, then obviously there's something up with the game. Which is really disappointing because it's orgasmic on PC.
I can only imagine, like, Bayonetta's top tier when it comes to hack and slash. It can't be beat.
Yeah, that's true. It's really good. And it's really easy to get that 60 frames that it needs. I mean, you could probably even get it on a toaster with that game.
I might have to look into it. I mean, what would it be now? It'd be it'd be my fourth time buying it because I had it on PS3, 360, Wii U, and then I'll go for a fourth on PC. Why not? It's worth it.
Yeah, I mean it's only $14.99.
It's not bad though.
So it's not too bad, and you get like some extras if you buy it before a certain date.
Hopefully they can work something out with Nintendo when they can do Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, I'd buy that even if it was full price. £50.
Top tier game. That its ending's a little weak. The last boss was kind of like phoned in a bit, but there are some scenes in the game. I won't spoil it in case it does come out, but it blows Bayonetta 1 out the water.
Yeah, that should be really good. That one.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed. And I think that is all we have time for. So I'd like to say thank you for listening in. Basically me rant for a good 40 minutes. Want to thank Low Level Prinny Ben for joining us to discuss his Yooka-Laylee review and fall asleep halfway through the podcast.
I'm still awake, dude.
Oh, he's still here. I'm sure we've got a dungeon or something that needs cleaning.
Yeah.
And I'd also like to thank Jeff for taking time out from ruling the overworld and playing Orgasmic Bayonetta on the PC.
Yeah.
To help kickstart this little project of ours and see where we go.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we should do it again next week.
Definitely. We'll look into it. We'll kick the ideas around the round table and see what the main focus will be next week. Cheers for joining us, lads.